So in this part of the playthrough, I have to continue dealing with the barbarian problem here. I keep getting pirate ships down in the south there. There is also a barbarian encampment in the northwest that I'm going to have to deal with. So now I've just developed the calendar,
so that we may apply our
which allows workers to construct plantations. I also can build Stonehenge. Now, choosing production is the next step for Rome. I'm going to build another settlers unit because I have to get back to the original goal of building the empire as large as possible, as early as possible. And I'll develop the wheel next because it's the easiest thing to develop. It leads to a lot of other things, including the ability to construct roads, because you don't start out with that technology. Starting in Civilization 4, you have to develop the wheel before you can build roads, whereas I think every Civilization version going back from 3, you start with that technology. So, next turn. So, 1240 BC, or 1240 BC. Nothing to do, so I go to the next turn. I notice I have some horses there, and I haven't taken advantage of them yet. But I don't have horseback riding. Some of the other horses over there. You need horseback riding to actually build cavalry units, for example, so the fact that I'm not connected to those is not necessarily important at this stage. I'll choose production for Antium here. And it's kind of a hard decision, actually. Just build settlers, because I need to build as many cities as possible here. Now adopt a policy. Let's see what I can adopt. There are a lot of things here that I'd like to have, but if they're grayed out, of course, they're not available yet. So then the question is, what do I adopt instead? Representation would be very good, except I can't use it yet. Legalism also. Meritocracy again. Military tradition. None of these are available yet. I'll adopt... I don't know. It's a hard decision, actually. And it was when I was actually playing the game. So you can see me going through all of them. Republic might be the best one, so it's the one that I adopted. So next turn. And I have shifted into second place in the scores. If you look up in the upper right there. That's good news.
Wisdom
and I just developed the wheel.
Wheels of a cart.
I have to choose my next research topic. Masonry would be good for defense and technological development, so I'll go with that. Especially because I can develop it in only 5 turns. So I'll jump to the next turn here. I'm pretty close to having another settler at this rate. Although those barbarians up there could be a little bit of an inconvenience in that regard. Choose production. Well, I'm thinking more about what to do with the settler, but let's choose the production. Let's figure that out. Great Library. I think, if I'm remembering right, I don't manage to finish that in this playthrough. Somebody beats me to it. So I want to send the settlers up somewhere where they're needed, to one of those potential city locations. The problem is I have the barbarians there, which could threaten them. So I will move the settlers up to close to where I need them, and then I'll have to send soldiers to take out that barbarian encampment. The question then is, where do I find the soldiers? Because that's difficult, given that I can't have more than one unit per square. So I will switch from Great Library to Archers. So I've already proven my earlier prediction right, that I don't finish the Great Library, because I have to prioritize other things, and by the time I get back to the Great Library, somebody else has taken it. So now I'm number one, and the most literate people, that is. Not overall score yet. I'm getting close, though. So now, hopefully I can get those archers up there once they're built. So I just developed masonry.
Whose walls already rise.
Welcome to the classical era.
Kings. Their honor comes from Zeus, and Zeus, god of counsel, loves them.
I have to choose my research next. I have 3 potential city locations up there. I'm going to have to do nothing with the settler, and then take care of the research here. Well, optics is kind of what I wanted, and it's the easiest thing to develop. So it will also give me embark mode once I have it. But I've lost my position there, and the score is now down in 3rd place again. I'm being given the opportunity to promote a unit, but I have to take care of my other problems here first. Okay, so I'll move these
You now have a range
settlers into place, and I will move the archer up there to attack the barbarians, but also promote the settler. Cancel last mission. Yeah, I don't want to have them getting dangerously close to that barbarian encampment. So I have my archer here. It's out of moves. I can promote it with accuracy or barrage, which is really better performance in rough terrain. Why that we call that barrage is another story. I have no idea why that is. But I have to wait to the next turn to move. And move mode will let me move the settlers up into position here, so I will try to do that. But I still am worried about that encampment there, because the barbarians can still get at me, given that I would have to take that trip in more than one step. But that'll be in the next part.